Okay, in this video I want to talk about when you're buying a second-hand house and the planning situation. A solicitor is engaged in a desk-based exercise, and that means that the solicitor is reviewing documents that come in, documents of title, including planning documents, including planning permissions and certificates of compliance with planning permission and certificates of compliance with building regulations. Those documents will be checked by your solicitor and will be or won't be in order. Questions or queries may arise, but let's just take, for the sake of an example, a house that was built in 1995. The house may have been built in 1995 and there's a certificate of compliance with planning permission, there's a certificate of compliance with building regulations, and there's an original grant of planning permission. That's fine. That's great. However, if there was any work carried out on the property between that date, 1995, and the present day when you're buying the property, then you need to be concerned. Firstly, what work was carried out? Secondly, would planning permission have been required? And thirdly, is building regulations a factor? Do you need a certificate of compliance with building regulations? Do you need a certificate of compliance with planning permission or a certificate of exemption from planning permission? And was planning permission needed, and was it applied for and obtained? Now, it often happens that a person selling a house who may have bought the house perhaps in 1995 could carry out some work on the house and really forget about it. If they did it, for example, a good while ago, or indeed if they were less than truthful and less than honest, they could tell their solicitor that they didn't carry out any work, or there was no work carried out that would require planning permission. And the solicitor, the vendor solicitor, is going to act in good faith to basically say, no, there was no work carried out, and we've done a planning search, and there's nothing in the planning documents, there's nothing in the planning office, rather, no applications, etc. That may well be the case, but if somebody carried out a development with no planning permission, went ahead and did the work, then there isn't going to be any planning application in the planning office. So if that's the case, and if the solicitor that you have instructed to buy the property for you is only determined or is only concerned with a desk-based exercise and is only looking at documents and planning permissions and certificates of compliance, what is the story then with that particular development? Where does that fall into, or how will that ever be discovered? Firstly, the solicitor, as I say, doesn't go out and have a look at the house. You will be going out as a purchaser, but you may not know what you're looking for or looking at, and you may not know the significance of any particular development or any particular works that may have been carried out. This is where your architect or engineer, who is carrying out or should be carrying out a structural survey on your behalf, he should be able to advise you. In other words, the architect or engineer should be able to go and have a look at the house and observe or note or bring to your attention that there was some work carried out, perhaps an extension, perhaps a porch, perhaps a conversion of a kitchen, perhaps some garden shed, big greenhouse or something of that nature. He should be able to tell you that there is or appears to be work done at a later time than the original construction of the house, and that it would be worthy of investigation. At that stage then you can tell your solicitor and say, look, there was a porch built, or there's a room, the garage was converted, or there was an extra room built onto the end of the house, or there was an extra room built onto the back of the house, or the attic was converted, there's dormer windows at the front, or there's dormer windows at the back. In that situation, you should be able to tell your solicitor what the situation is, just to flag it up with your solicitor, and your solicitor can then raise it with the other solicitor and say, look, our client's structural survey has indicated work carried out there with a porch or an extension at the back or a garage conversion. Please confirm when it was carried out, and let us have a certificate of compliance with planning permission or a certificate of exemption from planning permission, or certificates in relation to building regulations, etc. This is an important enough area. As I say, the solicitor doesn't go out. The client who's purchasing the property does go out but may not know what to look for. So you are dependent on your surveyor being able to flag up to you that there was work carried out after the original construction and that is worth investigating. And that is something that you probably should flag up with your surveyor. You certainly should flag up with your surveyor as well. So the surveyor should be able to give you an idea, A, an opinion on the structural integrity of the property, and B, was work carried out that doesn't seem to be covered by the original construction, and do we need planning permission, do we need certificates of compliance and so forth. Hope you find this video useful. I would appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.